Sri Krishna, Sri Krishna, Sri Krishna, Sri Krishna. Gurur Brahma, Gurur Vishnu, Gurur Devo Maheshwaraha, Guru Sakshat Param Brahma, Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha, Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. You must have observed when a group of people are sitting together in any gatherings, marriages or any gathering, and one person starts some topic. See, I went to India and outside my room, when I came out, there was this size snake very comfortably sitting. And in my life, for the first time, I have seen snake so alive and very close proximity. And I was so shaken. First person said this. Other person, second one, he will cut his talk there itself. This is nothing. When I went to South Africa and when I was going for a walk, I saw this size snake. Yours was so small, mine was big. Now what is the competition of the size of the snake? Now when the second person is talking about his snake experience, the third one begins, the fourth one begins. Now, what we have to learn? Any theme, any topic, any experience where I is present, that alone is important for us. Where I is not present, is not at all important for us. Because everything begins from this I. See how important it is. One day one person asked me this question. Swamiji, these days I am very worried. I said, what is the cause of worry? I am having a fear that if I die, what will happen to my wife, my children, my business? I said, they are waiting. When I die, where is my wife? When I die, where are my children? When I die, where is my business? So all that we talk about mine, is dependent on the I. Therefore, all our life is only with reference to this I. And this I starts becoming stronger and stronger with addition of every additional experience. So, what is the definition of I which is troubling us? The definition of I which is troubling us is I is a summation of total past experiences. Therefore, whenever somebody talks, that person talks only about the total past. All the time. And therefore, when elderly people go in the company of the youngsters, they not flash back, they flush back the same old stuff. And they have lived that experience. Therefore, they are so much inspired to talk about their past. But the youngsters are not interested in our past. They are worried about their future. And as a result, there is a wide gap. So what is I? I is all the time reveling on our past. We have to get freedom from this I. Unless this I is deleted, we may go on only changing the situations. Like I told in the morning, I was a non-vegetarian. Now I is a vegetarian. Earlier I was a drunkard. Now I is a teetotaler. Earlier I was not married. Now I am married. Earlier I was uneducated. Now I is educated. Earlier I was poor. Now I is rich. The virus I is maintained. Therefore, friends, if we have to understand life, we have to recognize this virus, the virus of ego, the virus of I. And you know the funny part of it, we all know the HIV virus is a biological virus. HIV, AIDS virus. So the HIV virus is a biological virus. Computer virus is a logical virus. It's a logical fallacy introduced in your system. And our ego is illogical virus. There is no logic. See? And all of us live our life only for the sake of this ego, the I. There is no logic behind it. See? Therefore, understanding life means getting rid of this I. And we all have experienced every day. In deep sleep, when I is not, we are happy. Again we wake up means what? Get identified with the body. Again I is born and the biography begins. See? And for that, there are many techniques given in our scriptures. Two techniques we have seen. The technique of karma, last life, this life, next life, and the technique of yoga. Now, what we have to understand clearly, that we have to break the barriers of birth and death if we want to understand life in its completeness. You remember I gave you yesterday one example. Those beautiful pictures which are everywhere, they are beautiful if you look at them from a proper distance. See this picture which is near those CDs which are kept there. It is uglier than the ugliest thing I have ever seen in my life. But the same thing looks beautiful if you stand at a distance. In the same manner, look at the world from a proper distance. And if we don't do that, we end up in a mess. Therefore, if we take our life beyond the birth and the death, then there is a beautiful experience. But individual experiences, we imagine that we have come to a blind end. And as if this is the end of my life. No. There are much more things to be achieved in life. Let us not get overpowered by few isolated sporadic experiences. And for that, our attention has to be annihilation, destruction of this I. Now today, we will try to see this destruction or annihilation of I through the third path of Kundalini Yoga. Kundalini Yoga is followed by those who are following the Siddha Yoga. In that Siddha Yoga, they say that there is a serpentine energy coiled at the base of the spine in a place called as Mooladhara 3.5 times. So like a spring, 3.5 times it is coiled and sleeping. And because that energy is sleeping, we are unable to achieve great things in life. So what they say, that this energy has to be awakened, and when this energy is awakened, it goes through 6 wheels or chakras or centers: Mooladhara, Swadhisthana, Manipur, Anahata, Vishuddha, Agya. These are the 6 centers through which that energy rises. And after that energy rises, comes to this Agya chakra. From there, it goes and merges with the Sahasrara. So here is Shiva, Lord Shiva, and at the base of the spine is Shakti. So when Shiva and Shakti, they merge together, the infinite power is manifested. And such great Siddha Yogis are able to do and achieve anything they want. This is in short the Siddha Yoga. And for that there are many explanations and many techniques. These techniques are based basically on 2 platforms. One is the platform of activity. Second is the platform of understanding. Those who are based on the activity principle, what they will do, for example, the goal is awakening the Kundalini. For that, they will sit quiet and then they will take the breath in with some Bija mantra, Rim or Om or Klim or Hum, and that sound is hit on that Mooladhara chakra, which is at the base of the spine. So by that constant hitting of the sound waves, that serpentine power which is sleeping is slowly awakened. When it is awakened, it breaks open as if the Mooladhara, the base center. And then that power, energy starts rising. Then it comes to the second center, which is just little above the genitalia and below the umbilicus. That is the second place where this energy pierces. After opening that center, then the energy still continues rising, and it comes to the umbilicus where there is a Manipur chakra, the third wheel or the center. After that is pierced and opened, then this energy rises up to the level of the chest, where it is called as Anahata chakra, the 4th center. And then from this center again the energy continues rising. It comes to the throat, called as Vishuddha chakra. And after this Vishuddha chakra is opened, then the energy goes up to the Bhru Madhya, the Agya chakra, which is situated between the eyebrows and near the ear, so in the center somewhere. And when that is opened, then the energy called as Shakti or the mother goes and merges with Shiva, the Purusha or the Lord. This is the diagram of spiritual unfoldment according to the Siddha Marga. Now, we will try to understand this from the knowledge point of view. And from the knowledge point of view, each center has got a different meaning. What I am telling you is not from books. Because when I was doing all these things long time back, I was having a total different sets of experiences. And based on that, I am telling you, this I have explained in my book Amrita Anubhav very exhaustively. This Kundalini Shakti, or the serpentine divine power which is present in every one of us, is sleeping, is dormant, is not fully manifest. And that time it is in the Mooladhara chakra, the lowest center. Now be very attentive, each and every center has got a different meaning. When this energy is tapped, when the energy is contained only in the Mooladhara chakra, the experience is body identification. We start living as body. Then, when the same energy remaining there, we come to the second chakra, the Swadhisthana chakra. Now at the Swadhisthana chakra, the quality is that of desire or calm. So at the base level, body identification. The second center, desire center. Third center, Manipur chakra, is the greed center. So three, body identification, desire and greed. Living in the lower three centers. Living in the lower three centers is leading a life of an animal. Animals live under the lower three centers. For them, there is nothing more. Protect yourself, eat, sleep, and procreate. There is no further for the animals.
In den ersten drei Zentren lebt man auf dem Niveau von Tieren. Also im Grunde genommen, das Leben dreht sich nur um die Punkte, die Tiere auch haben. Fortpflanzung, Food, Essen und so weiter und so fort.
So, a spiritual seeker starts living above these three chakras. So he is no more interested in living at a body level. A spiritual seeker is no more interested in fulfilling the desires, because worldly things make little difference for him. A spiritual seeker is no more greedy about the worldly things. Such a seeker starts living in Anahata chakra. And in this Anahat chakra, the I starts separating from the world. Now these four things I will explain one by one. First we will take the Mooladhara, the base center. We all are living with this clear, firm conviction that we are the body. Even God comes and tells us, you are not the body, we are not going to listen. Such a firm conviction. And when I consider myself to be this body only, what is the result of this conviction? I am incomplete, first. Second, The world is other than me. Third, my incompleteness can be removed if I get the worldly things. So this kind of thinking is called as desire. Because I consider myself to be the body and everything else as other than me. So the net result is desire. And when this desire overpowers us, all wisdom is taken away. And then we become the victim of our own desires. And what is the victimization of the desires? Greed. There is sufficient in this world for the need of everyone. But the whole world is not sufficient for the greed of even one. There is no end to the greed. So when we start living in the lower three chakras, this is what we live. Live as a body, constantly desiring about the world, and that desire has no limits. It is culminating into greed. And such a person went to a Mahatma and said, "Sir, yes, I want peace. I want peace." Mahatma said, "Tell little slowly, I can't understand." So this man said, "Sir, I want peace." Then the Mahatma said, "Remove I and want. What remains?" Peace. Peace is already there. Peace is not created. Silence is never created. It is already there. Sounds are created. Sounds are the disturbance in the silence. Silence is eternal. In the same manner, bliss is eternal. Miseries appear in between and disappear. But our attention is so much on the disturbances that we forget the bliss. And therefore, we get tired in this world. It is something like this. The other day, we were on seashore somewhere, and my friend told me, "Swamiji, see how terrible the waves are. The waves are coming so strong, isn't it?" So I asked him, "I am not seeing waves anywhere." "Can't you see the waves? See, they are coming one after another." I said, "I am seeing only the ocean." So what has happened? The waves have covered the ocean. See, in the same manner, every joy that we get from the worldly things is not the joy from the worldly things. It is our own bliss which is surfacing. But we don't understand that. Great masters give one example. There was a stupid dog, and he was very much emaciated, unclaimed by anybody. You will not understand this example unless you go to India. In India, dogs are a national property. Any dog can breed and grow anywhere. Nobody can stop it. There is a real democracy. Democracy not only for human beings but also for animals. Any animal can go anywhere and do anything. Nobody can stop it. So, one such useless dog, He was so hungry and searching for food. And he came across one old broken piece of bone. He grabbed it and started running, lest some other dog may come and take it away. He went to a corner, he saw nobody's around, and then he put his legs on it and started eating that sharp-edged bone. And because of that sharpness, there was a laceration inside, and the blood from his own mouth started coming out. And this dog starts thinking, how nice it is. I don't know how all the dogs in this place are fools. They never realize such a beautiful piece of bone is available, but nobody was taking. I am so lucky. Oh God, thank you very much. Again start eating, and again laceration, again more blood comes out, and this foolish dog thinks the blood is coming out from the bone. That foolish dog is we. We only imagine this particular object, if I get, I'll be very happy. If I don't get, I'll be miserable. Who told you this? I only imagine. It has no strength. And because of my disturbances, I want that. And then I get it. The moment I get that object, the disturbances in the mind, they are quietened. Quiet mind is bliss. Disturbed mind is misery. But like that dog we imagine. See, I was disturbed, then I had one cigarette and I am feeling good. Therefore, the cigarette is the source of peace. Therefore, cigarette is the source of happiness. Wisdom. Friends, when we recognize this, the real bliss never comes from outside. It is our own nature. Discover it. In deep sleep, what we have? We have no property, we have no husband, we have no wife, we have no children, we have no degree, we have no education, we don't do yoga, we don't do japa, we don't do pranayam, and yet we are blissful. Therefore, these are not the sources of happiness. We are that absolute bliss. When we are convinced of this, maybe we are not experienced, but now we are convinced. Such a person who is convinced of this, that there is no dignity of living at a body level, there is no achievement in fulfilling the desires, there cannot be any ceiling to the greed. Such a person effortlessly withdraws from the world. That is what is called in Yoga Shastra as pratyahar, withdrawal from the whole world. Now a person who is withdrawn from the whole world, now he has come and landed in Anahata Chakra. The center at the level of the chest, this is the fourth center. See, such a person is very easily getting into a meditation poise. And when we come at this level, then the second struggle begins. What is the struggle on the seat of meditation? Struggle is that the thoughts are so much overpowering that we get carried away by the thoughts. And by the time we realize, we have already wasted half an hour thinking about all nonsense. Then we, my God, I don't know, I don't know. See, normally I am all right, but whenever I sit for meditation, all dirty, horrible thoughts come. I think meditation is the cause for dirty thoughts. Conclusion. See. Now here, I'll take still deeper, please understand. Mind is an interaction between two types of thoughts. One thought is I thought, and second thoughts are not I thought. This is how we gather knowledge through mind. For example, this is a watch. I know this is a watch, and I am not the watch. Three things. So in this knowledge, there are two aspects. One is the subject, I know. Second is the object, which I is not. So mind is an interaction between the I thought versus not I thought. Now see the fun. You don't have to see the cartoons. You don't have to see the TV shows. It is such a wonderful TV going on. Free. Every not I thought is supported by the I thought. How? I, a mother, and not I, my daughter. So I, as a mother, keeps on thinking about daughter. And the more the importance I, the mother, gives to the daughter, maximum will be the thought frequency. So the value given by the I thought to the not I thought fattens the not I thought. And that is what we call as attachment. Now, to understand this example, I'll give one simple example. There was one lady in India. Ladies normally don't smoke. In this world, it's a common thing, therefore you will not appreciate. But in India, ladies normally don't smoke. So there was one lady, elderly one, wife of a brigadier, retired one, and she came for my talks. And after that, she came and asked me, Swamiji, please help me. I smoke. So I told somebody, I said, do you have a lighter? I want to help her. No, not that way. Then I want to stop smoking. So please help me. I said, what do I help you? You tell me not to smoke, I will stop smoking. I said, why should I tell you? When you started smoking, that time did you come to me, Swamiji, I am starting smoking, please inaugurate. That time you didn't come. You started, now you stop. And how do we start smoking? We have given importance to the smoking. And if we have given importance to something, we have to devalue. Nobody can devalue for us. If this is understood in the same manner, whenever on the seat of meditation or any time in your life you are disturbed, please remember you have given undue importance to something or the other, and because of that, that something or the other has become powerful. You drop it. You devalue it. See, the strength of the world is borrowed from our weakness. We should not be a weakling. No means no. See, that inner strength, when we are able to invoke, then alone our mind will start remaining quieter and quieter. And this can happen only when the seeker has come to the Anahata Chakra. So when he is sitting on the seat of meditation, you sit quietly, let the thoughts come. One thought has come about the daughter, you just be indifferent. It will disappear. That is why, remember, I told you in meditation, you are Mr. Nobody. As a nobody, no thought will come. The moment you become somebody, thoughts are bound to come. So this practice of being nobody is strengthened on the seat of meditation. So when we are sitting and like the two enemies, this side there is I thought, this side there are not I thought. They are constantly exchanging. But if I thought decides I am not going to interact with any one of them, it is something like this. You must have seen, there are some children, when elders are sitting or doing something, that only child of the family, this I have seen particularly among Indian parents and children. The children are given extremely more importance in the family. So when elderly people are discussing, talking, that time the child will come with all the toys and everything and wants to seek attention. Suppose you talk to the child, he will climb on your head. If you scold him, he will start crying. In short, he wants attention. To such a child, what can you do? Be indifferent. Neither appreciate nor condemn. After a few minutes, the child knows this is not a place for me, he goes away. In the same manner, let there be good thoughts, bad thoughts. Stand apart. Neither fight with the thoughts, nor cooperate with the thoughts. When you start practicing this I who was fattened because of too many not eyes around, he starts becoming thinner and thinner because he has stopped giving importance to the world slowly starts withering away, goes away. And the world-less I cannot exist. See? When my wife goes away for good, she takes the husband with her. I remain the original one, the man. Who was miserable? The husband was miserable. The moment the not I, the wife has gone away, she has taken the husband. I am left as I am. In the same manner, this mother that I was miserable because of the daughter, the moment I drop the daughter, she takes her mother away. And I, the nobody, remains. Practice this again and again with understanding. It is we alone who give too much of importance to the world. If we have given too much importance, we have to drop it. This I have learned from one of my experiences. There was a time when I was obsessed with cleanliness. Extreme cleanliness was my hobby. Like, our Margaret. You go to her house in Germany, she is so clean and neat. So when I was with her there, she said, you have seen in her house, I am cooking or doing whatever I want. When I went to her house, she said, Swamiji, will you like to make vegetables? I said, no, you do it. She said, why? I said, I am so afraid of your cleanliness. It is so clean as if it is a decoration piece. I said, I can't function in this thing. So that kind of obsession of cleanliness I had. And the Lord, out of sheer compassion and love, put me in such a situation where there was nothing but rubbish around. And I had no choice. So He placed me in such a situation where there was all rubbish and I had to stay there. And those 6 months, my meditation used to be, cleanliness is next to godliness. If I am allowed to clean, who is going to lose anything? But they don't allow me to do. I don't know. What kind of people are these? Like, Om Trambakam Yajamahe Sugandhim Pushtivardhanam Urvarukam Yobandhanat Mrutyor Mukshiyam Amrutat. Om Trambakam Yajamahe. Like we do the japa, this was my japa. Cleanliness is next to godliness. Why don't they allow me to clean? It is not costing them anything, but they don't allow. I don't know why. Again, cleanliness is next to godliness. One day, it clicked me after 6 months of suffering. I said, hey, what I am doing? Am I in this world as a sanitation inspector? That day I discovered the meaning of attachment. Attachment is never physical. Attachment is mental. And what is that attachment mental? We have given undue value and importance to something or the somebody in this world. Anything you give importance to becomes the source of misery. Anything. It is so important. Like, I am vegetarian. Now there are many friends like me, Swamis, who are vegetarian, but their vegetarianism is such that they don't tolerate the non-vegetarian. So when I was somewhere, on the same table, I am sitting with the bread, butter and tea and all that. And next to me, somebody is sitting with the hot dog and cold dog or whatever, all the dogs, all there, and with everything kind of slices and pieces and all that. And we are sitting together. And that person he takes up, Swamiji, you don't mind, isn't it? Now see, if I am obsessed, I will become miserable. Therefore, friends, if we want to sit on the seat of meditation, become aware that wherever we have become obsessed, that becomes the cause of our miseries. Therefore, let us learn to stand apart. One example I'll give about this coming going. It so happened, this happened in Delhi about 20 years before. In my lectures, anybody can come and go. I don't get disturbed. That is my rule. And after my lectures were over in that place, I was shifted from Delhi to Bombay. So those people, they say, Swamiji, you are going. Please bring somebody before you go who can take classes for us. So I had a friend, elderly. That time I was young. He was old man. So he was about 70 or 65 or like that. I told him, I said, Swamiji, such and such people, very good seekers are there and they want to study. And you are very good in Vedanta Shastra. Will you mind to go and teach there? He said, Swamiji, when you are telling me, I'll do it. Normally I don't. I said, okay. So I introduced him to that group, and thereafter I left. After 1 year again I visited that group when I went to Delhi. I said, hey, how is your satsang going on? They said, Swamiji, we have stopped that man from coming here. So what happened? My God, he was such a terrific fellow. He will shout, he will become angry. He cannot tolerate anything. And then they gave an example. One day, when we were all sitting for our class and he was teaching something, in between one man came to give something to some lady. So he was probably the driver. He has to give some urgent message or the keys and go away. So he came in between. When he came in between, this Mahatma got angry and he shouted, whose death news you have brought? Who has died? You can imagine how bitter it is. Why this happens? Because discipline. What discipline? Life is lived with love, not with discipline. Discipline yourself, not others. But normally we want to discipline the world, and as regards we are concerned, we are a mess. Therefore, friends, attachment means giving undue importance to something or somebody, and as a result of which we get disturbed because of that thing or that body. When we are living in this world and the world cannot disturb us, then only we sit on the seat of meditation. Thoughts will not disturb us. It is something like this. A person who is driving a car in an open field doesn't commit any accident. Then there is a possibility that when he is parking the car in his own garage, he will not create an accident. In the same manner, when we are living in this world, we come across so many things and beings around us, but we remain undisturbed. When the external world does not disturb us, then the internal world will not disturb us. That is why in the first day I told you, let us not react to the world. Let us only act. No reaction. How do we act without reaction? Respond when required in a particular way so that your mind doesn't get disturbed. The most valuable thing in the whole universe is our peace of mind. If you keep peace of mind on one side of the scale and the whole world on the other side of the scale, what is more valuable for us is our peace of mind. And yet, we get disturbed for small little things in this world. See? And such a disturbed person, you must have seen, I don't know whether that shrub is here or not, there is one bush. Have you seen in India? It is called as touch me not. You know that touch me not? The moment you touch, all the leaves become like this, you know. Our life is like a touch me not. Somebody says, I love you, gone. Somebody doesn't talk to you, another. What is happening to you? See, people don't like me. There is nothing worth in you. Why they will like you? See, those who depend on the recognition by others, they are not worth anything. Discover your own divinity inside. That is important. Therefore, when the world is no more able to disturb us, then we become qualified to come on the seat of meditation, that time we are operating from Anahata Chakra. So when we are living at the level of Anahata Chakra, slowly, slowly, the frequency of thoughts per second will start reducing. Now at this moment, we have got 1 million thoughts per second. Like a poultry farm. Inside, we are not one. There is a crowd. You can imagine in a poultry farm when you go, do you feel peace? All the birds inside same non-stop going on. And because of that, all energy is dissipated. On the contrary, if we learn to keep quiet, peace is the most valuable thing in the world. Therefore, one of my principles I told the other day, those who become miserable because of anything or anybody, they are the fools of the highest order. Never become miserable because of anything or anybody. Our peace of mind is the holiest thing in the whole universe. Now I am taking you to the next step. When by a constant practice, abhyas, the I thought is no more influenced by the not I thoughts, what happens? The I thought does not have anything to eat. It is something like dieting. What we do in dieting? The food is there. No, I don't take ghee. I don't take sugar. I don't take potatoes. I don't take rice. It is there. Why I don't take? I want to reduce my size. I have become a round figure. I want to become a vertical one. So I abstain from eating these things. In the same manner, when this I thought does not entertain the not I thoughts, this I, the fat ego, starts reducing. What is the sign of reduced ego? The sign of the reduced ego is you are cheerful and happy. See? When we are able to remain cheerful and happy for no reason, then alone our ego is reduced to a great extent. Do you know one funny thing in this world? Only mad people are happy in this world. And therefore, those who are happy, they are called as mad. Because normally in this world, everybody is miserable, frustrated, and among them, if you remain cheerful and happy, they think something is wrong with this fellow. See, we are all miserable. See. On the contrary, lesser the poison or the concentration of ego, more cheerful and happy you are. God has no ego. Therefore, all bliss. So when we start working on this, slowly, slowly, that I thought has nothing to worry about the not I thought. Be very attentive. I thought has no interest in the not I thoughts. Therefore, the not I thoughts disappear. So when the not I thoughts disappear, the thought aspect of the I also disappears. Then what remains? Thought-free I. Thought-free I is consciousness. When we come to this stage, we have come to Vishuddha Chakra at the level of the throat. Vishuddha means immaculate, pure, only consciousness, no thoughts. This thought-free experience of being is above deep sleep. In sleep also we have no thoughts. Be very attentive. It's a very subtle point. In deep sleep also we have no thoughts. But there is one thought. And the thought is about the absence. There is no waking world is absent. There is no dream world is absent. Therefore, the deep sleep experience is abhava, pratyaya, alambana, vritti, nidra. Deep sleep is that experience where absence is the object. But when we come to the Vishuddha Chakra, we are not talking about the absence. We are talking about the presence. Therefore, those masters who live at the level of the Vishuddha Chakra, they have reason beyond the waking world, the dream world, and the deep sleep world. Now, this is the stage wherein we are likely to slip back again to the relative world. This is explained in Gita by a simile. Yatha dipo nivatastaha nengate sopama smrita yoginaha yata chittasya. He who has thus come to this level, a yogi, a seeker, his condition is like what? Like a flame which is kept in a corner and where there is no disturbance because of the wind. So the flame remains steady. It is not like a bulb. It is a live flame. It has got all the potentiality to disturb. But because there are no disturbances, it remains steady. In the same manner, when the yogi comes to the level of the Vishuddha Chakra, he is in between the relative world and the absolute reality. So living at the level of the Vishuddha Chakra is living as Mr. Nobody. Living at the level of the Vishuddha Chakra is living as consciousness. Living at the level of the Vishuddha Chakra is technically called as Unmani Avastha. Unmani means you have transcended the mind. When the seeker or the yogi remains in this Vishuddha Chakra for more and more period of time, he becomes firmly established to live as consciousness. Thereafter, he migrates or graduates, or the Kundalini Shakti now opens this Vishuddha Chakra and he comes to this Agya Chakra, which is in the middle of these two eyebrows. After having come here, now the experience is, everything is in me. Aham Brahmasmi. Like our experience with reference to our body. Eyes are in me, nose in me, ears are in me, the stomach is in me, the legs are in me. Therefore, although they may be many, but there is no mutual competition. There is no mutual appreciation or discarding. We don't say that the mouth is more important than the other end. No. Because there is one reality, although there is manyness. In the same manner, when one starts residing in this Agya Chakra, his experience is all inclusiveness. Nothing is discarded. Friends, whichever is included in the definition of I, we love that. Whichever is discarded out of the definition of I, we hate it. When the experience is everything is in me, such a master doesn't have to love, it happens. There is no effort in that love. To understand this point, I'll give you one dirty example. We all of us know that in the lower part of our intestine there is fecal material, and in our bladder there is urine. Now think of that fecal material and the urine in you and feel hatred. You cannot. And second thing, the moment it is separated from us in the toilet, then look at it and try to love it. You cannot, because it is separated from I. The pure love is possible only when you include everything as it is. This is the last stage at the level of the Bhrumadhya Agya Chakra. This is the meaning of the Shad Chakra Vedant, opening the 6 centers. Bheda meaning understanding the secret. But the word Bheda also means piercing. Most of the people take the meaning piercing. So they say, my Mooladhar Chakra, the lower center, is opened. It is not opening and closing. It is recognizing the secret. When this is not understood, things like this happen. One person came to me along with his friend. After the lecture, he said, Swamiji, I have phoned you and you told me to meet us after the lecture. So here I am. I said, yes, what is the thing you want to talk? He said, he is my friend. And I said, let him talk. You don't talk on his behalf unless he is dumb. No, he can talk. I said, let him talk. So he started talking. Swamiji, my 6 chakras are open. Kundalini has awakened. But by then my guru died. Now I don't know what to do. So I started laughing. He said, why are you laughing? I said, now you have come to kill me or what? Because by opening your chakras, you have killed one guru. Now you want to take my life, I will not tell you. He said, no, Swamiji, it's not like that, but I don't know what to do. I said, if your chakras are open, close them. Suppose somebody tells you, my buttons are open, what should I do? Close them. I will not close your buttons, you close. Please remember, if opening of the chakras and awakening of the Kundalini keeps doubts and questions in your mind, you have achieved nothing. Friends, there is only one area where we have no question, we have no doubt. And that is about our own existence. We don't require anybody's certification, whether I exist or I don't exist. We have no doubt about it. I may have doubt whether this verse is from Gita chapter 5 or chapter 6. There may be a doubt. I may have doubt whether I will be able to lift this bucket or not. I may have a doubt whether I will be able to cut the vegetables without cutting the finger. But there is no doubt about my own being. This doubtless knowledge is called as realization. See, this is the meaning of this Kundalini Yoga. But what happens? As it happens in the Patanjali Yoga Sutra, there we come across many divine potentialities unfolding in us as we start becoming subtler and subtler and go away from the influence of the Prakriti, the lower three wheels. Because our mind is a mine of divine power. And when this mind's divine power is not dissipated in the worldly things, it is all conserved. And this conserved power starts expressing in the form of many miracles. What are the miracles? I bless somebody, my dear child, don't worry, everything will be all right, and everything becomes all right for that person. Hey, he is a great Mahatma. He said everything will be all right, and happened like that. He touched, and his disease has gone away. He is a great Mahatma. And then this Mahatma gets caught up. I am a great Mahatma. I can create miracles. I'll tell you one miracle. I was in Kaivalya Dham, Lonavala. And there are so many people come from all over the world. And as you have seen, I never calculate when I interact with the people. As it comes naturally, it happens. One day one person came from somewhere. He attended the class. And after everybody came to do namaskar, as in India, everybody does namaskar after the lecture is over. So everybody came for doing namaskar. When this person came, I didn't know who is this fellow. I said, hey, stand up. He stood. Then I caught hold of his hair. And on his back, I started doing tak, 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 tak. I said, Jadoo, a miracle. Just fun. I don't know what is this. And I went. After 2 months, another person came. He said, Swamiji, such and such person has sent me. I said, who is that person? His name is so and so. I said, I don't recognize that person. He said, no, he came here. And he had a back pain for last 25 years. And he has done everything. Nothing has helped him. Then he told that there is such and such Swami in Kaivalya Dham. You go and he will cure you. Now I become a big Babaji. Oh, beta, don't worry. See, be very attentive. I is separate from you. This is the problem. This is not an achievement. But what happens in the Siddha Marga or Yoga Marga? We get caught up in that. And therefore, either we start blessing people or we start cursing people. Blessing and cursing is possible only when there is a sense of otherness. When my own tongue is beaten by my teeth, sometimes it happens. That time will the tongue say, come on, wait a minute, I'll take you to the dentist and show. And then I go to the dentist and the tongue tells, these two fellows have been biting me again and again. Remove them? No. Because the one who was beaten and the one who is biting, they are not two. Therefore, when there is a biting, there is no sorry. And when the tongue goes and removes something hidden in between the two teeth, that time the teeth, they don't say, thank you so much, huh? No. Blessing and cursing is possible only when I is other than you. You will see all these Mahatmas who have got these powers to bless and curse. everybody is afraid of them. Because we don't know, hey, he's a great Mahatma. Behave properly. Sit quiet. Or else he will do something and something bad will happen to you. Isn't it happening? That is not the ultimate, friends. Therefore, when we talk about Kundalini Yoga, let us not get carried away by these powers which come on the way. They will come and disappear. Our goal has to be clear. Liberation from I. And when this liberation from I is achieved, then alone we have understood the meaning of life. So, the lower three chakras, how do we get out of their clutches? Systematically, one by one, that we will see in our next class. And after we are grown out of the pre-primary, primary and the middle school, then we come to the high school. And after that we come to the college. And after that we come to the post-graduation. And after that we become doctor. Om Purnamadaha Purnamidam Purnaat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om. Shri Gurubhyo Namaha.